Hello,
Hey there.
how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Fine, fine. And you?
I am doing well. It looks like you've had a busy morning. Is that true?
It's always like this. It's not this morning. It will be this afternoon and this evening and tomorrow.
That's good. It keeps you off the streets.
But at least now I do the makeup in 10 minutes. It takes me.
Uh, yeah, I luck out. Takes me about a minute.
Yeah, good for you.
And the
Good
hair.
for- Yes, I think I'm gonna go to your hairdresser.
Right? You know what? You've got an energy that could pull it off, I'm thinking. What a pleasure to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Right back at you. I've been obviously reading a lot about what the gang over at New World has to say about your new book and about all the things you're doing. So I'm excited for my listeners to hear
Thank you.
about hear about your story.
Thank you so much.
You're quite
Thank you
welcome.
so
So
much.
I
How
came up
much
with
time do we have?
we like between half an hour and an hour, whichever works best for you. Is there a time frame
Okay.
that you want to stick with?
Yeah, we'll see how it flows. You decide. I'm okay.
I like that. I
I
like that.
separated an hour, and if it takes less, wonderful too.
Right, exactly, exactly. Well, cool. Well, I thought, like I said, I just dove right in. For the past hour, I've been coming up with some questions. Some of them, actually, none of them will surprise you. But to your
No,
point, I'm
I
just going
don't
to be,
need to know. I don't want to know questions.
oh, yeah, yeah, no, no, exactly. Oh, I'm not going to tell you. Oh, please. You're by the, you're by the seat of your pants. I can tell that. I'm the same way.
Yeah. No, I have to be sure I come from inspiration. That my intellect doesn't get on the way.
Oh, exactly. Many people would say my intellect doesn't get in the way at all.
Good.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I will have to take some classes from you. The hair, the makeup, the what?
Exactly. Well, it depends on the day. Some days my intellect is churning away.
I
Other
know.
days I'm just like, whatever, just see how it goes. Just enjoy the
Yes.
day.
Go with the flow.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I thought I'd start off by asking you to tell listeners about your old life and your new life. You used to obviously work in corporate America. And the question I had was tell listeners about quitting your job and becoming a speaker, writer, teacher, peace advocate, cook, chef, whatever.
No, those no.
Those no.
Those cross the last ones.
Okay, okay, we'll stick with the first four. So, was it a sudden decision or was it over time?
It was a little bit of both because my oldest son, talked to me angry as I used to be, frustrated. And that day I woke up. So it was sudden, but at the same time, it was a process, yes, because that day my life changed because I made a different decision. Yes,
Right.
I realized I wasn't looking for happiness in the right places. And I said, there is not enough money to make me happy. There is not enough, a big house enough to make me happy. No new cars to make me happy. I said, so where is it? Yes. And I started my search. So, and as you know, when you are in your search, it takes you places. Yes. And it's a road with no end because I'm still in the search.
Well, it's kind of like what I tell people with meditation. Many people, our culture in the United States says, okay, you start here and you end here. There's a process, a beginning and an end. And with meditation, I tell people, I'm like, there's no becoming the best meditator ever. It's a process, it's a practice. So,
Yeah.
kind of like the same thing you're saying, how it's just like life is just a turn here, a turn
It's a
there. And
school.
yeah,
It's a
it's a
school.
great school. So,
We
do
don't
you
we don't get it yet.
no, no, exactly. Well, to that point, some people do get it and some people don't. Obviously, some people wake up to that belief that oh, it's like, you know what? There's something more and I got to find it. And then there's some people that are like, there's something more, but this is safe. I think I'll stay here. What do you think it is?
Yeah, well, the comfort zone, yes. Not one book that changed my life was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Oh, nice.
So then I realized that we all have fear. It's not like you are here, you are the victim, everybody can, but it's the decisions that you make.
Right.
So it is about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Don't not giving the fear to control you. And I think with the times that we are living right now, we know what fear can do. Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so this one, I'm going to give it my best shot. Ho'oponopono. Was that it?
Ho'oponopono.
I was so close. I was so
Yes.
cloose.
Well,
was thinking, I'm like,
I understood what you were saying.
yeah, nobody else did. So with that wonderful introduction, what is that, and what drew you to that as opposed to other ways of becoming introspective?
Okay, so I did a lot of things like everybody, again, on the path. But there was a little voice in my head that said there has to be an easier and faster way. There has to be an easier and faster way. I was always a very practical person, even when I used to be an accountant, a tax accountant.
Right.
So I always look for shortcuts, creative ways and things like that. And I didn't buy into the drama. I said, I don't believe you have to go and replay or relive those hurtful moments and find somebody to blame for your problems,
Right.
And I found it in Ho'oponopono, this ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving that taught me that I created it, I can change it. That everything is inside of me. Everything is just programs in my subconscious mind. It is hard to take 100% responsibility because, again, it's in your subconscious mind.
Right.
But when you do, you set yourself free. Because nobody likes to depend on things outside, or even people outside of you. And this sets you completely free. Life is up to you. It's your decisions, your choices. You letting go of the past or not, you're forgiving or not. I mean, you are creating your own drama or your own paradise.
Right, exactly. So with that, okay, say it for me one more time. We're gonna say. I'm gonna have you say it one more time.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. That's okay. You just say it the way you can.
Oh, exactly. So with that again, is there a process for activating that, or I mean, is zero frequency, which we'll talk about obviously in a little bit, kind of like on par with that, or is it a kind of an offshoot of that?
Okay, so Ho'oponopono, it could be as easy as repeating mentally, thank you, or mentally, I love you. I know most people know Ho'oponopono by 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. But really, the thank you and the I love you replaced what really is Ho'oponopono, that is, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that created this, like little children.
Right.
No guilty adults. This is about being children again and knowing that we are responsible. And remember, when we were kids, it was easy to say sorry, yes? But to be honest with you, you don't even have to say I'm sorry, and you don't have to ask for forgiveness. You just have to repeat thank you in your mind, or I love you. And it's like a passcode to God to say, hey, I don't know what is in me, but here, and you allow God more into your life, the way you understand God, because I didn't believe before, and I started believing when I started believing in myself.
Right.
And I realized I was not alone, and there was a part of me that knew better. And it wasn't the one that was talking all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty loud.
Exactly. So the thank you and the I love you stops that voice. It's like changing channels. So now you can be more at peace, more in balance, more at neutral. So you can receive inspiration. We are always going, pushing things, wanting it our way, when we wanted, the form we wanted, the color we wanted. And then we don't realize that we don't know anything. We don't know what is right. So it is about how to bring yourself back to that peace, to the happiness for no reason, no apparent reason outside of yourself. And then everything is added. Everything comes to you. It's much easier. And my oldest son woke me up, but he's my teacher, yes? So one day, as I was going through this path of awakening, I told him, I said, life could be easy. And he looked at me and he said, that's not what you used to tell me. And I said, you are right, but I know a little bit better now. Life could be easy if we get out of our own way, because we are our own obstacle in our own life, because we think we know. and we want
And
it our way.
I mean, that's the big thing. Obviously, ego says, you know what? I got this all figured out. Soul, heart, whatever. You go, just simmer down. My brain's got it all figured out. I know how it should be. And when we get thinking like that, it isn't long before humility makes its way to our door with some lessons to say, hey, that's not really how it works.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love the fact that you
we get some bumps, yeah, because we are bumping against walls and we don't know they were there.
What's so funny, if I think about bumps, I'm like, obviously, like when we're younger, we bump a lot. As I get older, what's so funny, because I asked my dad this the other day, just a total tangent. I said, do you think people get wiser as they get older, or you think it's just something else? He's like, I think it's something else. He's like, because I know people my age that are not that wise, and they're just rotten people.
Yeah, no, because unfortunately we don't learn. We keep in our comfort zone, like we
Right.
said before. You don't really grow. You are not open right now. With everything that is going on, it's so important to open our minds. To come more from our hearts.
Right.
I'm sure you are familiar with heart math. They did a whole study. I mean, it's the brain that gives the the directions to it's the heart that gives the directions to the brain, not the other way around.
Right.
So,
Right.
we have so much to learn, so much to realize, yeah, so much to wake up to what life is all about.
And I think that's one of the greatest gifts of my mom, of which she gave me millions, said. She's like, if you address every situation like you don't know, she's like, you have so many different possibilities to open yourself up to be aware of.
I love it. I love it.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
exactly.
You
So I don't
save
have to know
yourself.
anything.
You save yourself a lot of time and grief. Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So thinking back, I mean, I'd say from 28 to birth, there's a lot of bumps. 28 past, I'm like, yeah, less bumps. And now, obviously, it's like, I don't even feel a bump. I'm like, no, nothing.
I want to tell you that I woke up around my 40s. Yeah, I was still working for a CPA office. I was a tax senior accountant at that time. And one of my bosses, because I was going through all these changes, and also a divorce, a lot of turmoil, yeah.
Right.
And he came to me and he says, Mabel, don't you think that maybe is the crisis of the midlife crisis? And I look at him and I said, this is midlife crisis. I'm loving it. I'm having the greatest time in my life. I mean, for the first time I was happy. For the first time I was happy that I wasn't depending again of material things or things. I was connecting with, with something much grandiose, inside of me. I mean, it was a total awakening that it was so beautiful. So
That's awesome. I was just going to say, so it's awesome to have a midlife crisis where you're not desperately clawing and searching for meaning. You're like, no, you know what? Here's change and it's working. As opposed to buying 9 million things.
yeah. Many times at 40, you said, I don't have enough university titles. Maybe 2 are not enough. I should have gone for another one. Yeah. Or no, I need more money in the bank or more money for retirement. Or, who knows, all the things that go through your mind.
Right. Absolutely. So we talked about zero frequency. How does zero frequency address more difficult feelings like sadness, frustration, and grief?
Well, everything is based on Ho'oponopono. Yes, my work, because that's what I chose, my path, and that's what I practice. I'll tell you why I created zero frequency. I'm still an intellectual person. I come from the business world. Yes, so I know how things work. But I needed to find a way, a more practical way, not such esoteric way or such theoretical way,
Right.
When I've been doing trainings, zero frequency trainings for 10 years now. So when I used to travel around the world,
Right.
I would do 1 day of Ho'oponopono and then 1 day of zero frequency. Zero frequency gave me the possibility of telling people what helped me to let go and trust more, what helped me to practice more Ho'oponopono. And sometimes your intellect needs to have certain experiences to believe you, you know? Because I mean, I could give you all the theory you want, but you know, you are like, yeah, nice. It would be nice, yes? But when you have that experience, when you have the experience that maybe there are no coincidences in the world, you know, that the universe puts you together with the right people at the right time, at the right place, you know, because sometimes I make them work together, you know, one-on-one or in groups, and they found so many things in common. And I always tell them, how come if you didn't know each other, you know? So that makes you realize how the universe is perfect, that everything that comes into your life is perfect, that maybe there is something inside of you that is attracting it. Yeah, that maybe you are 100% responsible, and that will set you free, realizing, living a more conscious life. So I can give you all the theory, you know, Ho'oponopono. I have a lot of material to give you a whole day and things, but I wanted to share with people. I wanted them to experience, again, because I come from the intellectual world. And so the other thing that it was very, very important for me is to be able to connect people with their passion. I think that we created such an unhappy place because people work for the money. We learned that we couldn't do what we love because we were going to, you know, not be able, you know, to survive. And my feeling is that a perfect world would be one where we all do what we love, and then nobody would have money problems because money follows love. We made it hard. Yes,
Right.
we
Yep.
we have to unlearn to be able to relearn. So that's what zero frequency is for me. What can I do to bring myself back to balance that I will be willing to let go, to practice Ho'oponopono?
Right. So, in regards to all the lessons you learned, how do you say you learn them? So, do you literally just, from a waking state, just say, you know what, universe, bring me whatever I'm supposed to have to learn? Or do you have a meditation practice? Do you have prayer? Do you have some sort of way of getting in touch with the core of who you are?
Well, Ho'oponopono helped me in many, many ways, and I call it my 24-hour meditations. How could you live, you know, with that awareness, you know, or with that connection moment by moment, yeah?
Right.
So that you can take action from inspiration, you can talk from inspiration. That is the whole idea, yeah?
Right.
For me, was different things that woke me up. Yes, I went to take an anger course, and the guy, because everything started, my anger was the one that woke me up, yes? So I went to see what anger was. This guy ended up being a metaphysical teacher. He introduced me to metaphysics for the first time in my life. I didn't knew anything about it. I went to a yoga class, and the yoga teacher made us do a visualization at the end of the class, and I manifested what I visualized in the yoga class in the morning. I manifested that afternoon, and I said, could be that we are so powerful. I remember that I went to a psychiatrist, a training, a seminar, and he made us do an exercise where you would visualize your body being burned, you know, from toes, you know, coming up, and suddenly she says, okay, your body is gone, but you are still there. You know, those things that then make you realize, make you think, make you perceive in different ways, yes?
Right.
Then I did a lot of rebirthing. That's where I saw a lot of drama. It helped me tremendously, but most of the training was about listening to stories of people crying. You know, I realized this, I remember that, they did this to me, they said that to me, you know. Okay, and that's what brought me to Ho'oponopono, yeah? So what I like about Ho'oponopono is that, first of all, the 100% responsibility. I don't depend on anybody or anything to be happy.
Yeah, I like that.
I created it, I can change it. Everything is like the monitor. So Ho'oponopono is, I'm gonna talk to the monitor and try the monitor to change, or I'm gonna press the delete key. So the thank you, the I love you, is pressing the delete key. Taking responsibility is something in my programs that is showing up in the monitor, yeah? Again, it set me free. And I really felt free for the first time in my life. So for me, Ho'oponopono is a way of living, a way of seeing problems as opportunities. It doesn't, okay, so I'm going to tell you, it's not like I don't have problems, okay?
I hear you.
It's not like I don't get angry anymore, you know? But if I'm, most of the time I am conscious, because even when I get angry, I do it consciously now. You know, I realize that I'm getting angry. So I go back to balance. I go back to the thank you, the I love you. I come back to, I say, God, this is too much for me. You know, you ask for help. That's the most important, moment by moment. And again, it's coming from another kind of channel, yeah, to resolve your problems in ways that you never thought possible. You
right.
know,
And
people,
no, I was
yeah,
just going to say, sorry, go ahead.
no, people sometimes change in front of you without you even talking. Yeah, but because we hold common memories, so we say in Ho'oponopono, whatever gets erased from you, that is God transmuting in our subconscious mind, it gets transmuted on others. That's why it looks like other people change, but we change. Yeah. So when you change, everything changes.
I like the fact that you talk about how it's a 24-hour meditation, because when I think about my meditation practice and when I talk about it with listeners, I talk about how that hour or 20 minutes or whatever it is when you're on the cushion or in your chair, that's powerful time. But the goal is to spread out into the day. And there are many times that, just like you had said, where I'm walking in the middle of the day or in the beginning of the day and just inspiration hits me. I'm just like, cool, I'm here with nature, and I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. And all these things hit me. And there are times, just like I said to you.
Yeah,
no,
so the problems, yeah, sorry.
No. So I was just going to say that there are sometimes, just like you had said, where I'm like, I'm walking, I'm just like, okay, I got to do this. I'm like, oh, got to make sure that bill gets paid. I'm like, I got to do this. And like, so it's two totally different walks. But when I open myself up, just like you had said, we're just like, okay, you know what? I have a meditation, but that taps me into something higher. But it doesn't have to mean that I have to stay on that cushion to be tapped in. I can access whatever I want, whenever I want, at any time.
Exactly. That is the idea, that you can observe problems, but you don't identify with them. Yeah.
Right.
That you are conscious enough to know that you are not alone. That even if something very scary, there is nothing you need to worry about. You just have to live in the present moment. This is all you have, and right now you are okay.
Well, it's funny because I had that very message, and that message comes to me obviously all the time. But this morning, to your point, I was kind of in a snit. I woke up and things were going well, but then I was kind of getting in my own way. Things were slowing down. I'm like, I lost my keys, my bedroom window. I was cleaning the window. It fell down and cracked. I'm like, ugh. And I started getting all this. I'm like, and then I just came to a point. I'm like, dude, you feel it, right? I'm like, yes, I feel it. Of course I feel it. I'm like, this voice says, do you want to stay that way? I'm like, no. He's like, then change. I'm like, God,
yes.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
So is that moment by moment free choice that we have? Yes.
Yep.
So we in Ho'oponopono we say the problem is not the problem; it's how you react to the problem that is the problem.
Oh, exactly. Well,
my teacher, Dr. Ihaliakala, used to say, "Have you realized that every time there is a problem, you are always there?"
I love that. Absolutely.
So maybe there is something inside of us, yes?
Right. Yeah. An intellectual mind would put two and two together there. Yeah, problems, and I'm always there. That's awesome. Yeah, interesting. And like you say, it's making those choices each time. Because there have been times that I've been like, this was probably a couple months ago. I was making scrambled eggs, and I scrambled. And I had the bowl in my hand. I was like, slipped, and it went all over me. And I'm like, and I just started cracking up. And any other time, I would have been like, oh,
very, very upset. Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. So it's making those choices and deciding. So like you said, being in touch with a source so you can make those decisions in that moment. Yeah. What I talk about with meditation is it kind of broadens that gap. So you have that chance.
And even having the realization that didn't happen by accident, that you were maybe put there because you needed, maybe they need you to delay for you to do something else. You understand what I mean? The universe is so perfect that it will do. There is a movie that I will never forget. Oh,
Except the title.
except the title. The Adjustment Bureau.
Okay.
The Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon and Ellen Hunt. And they show you, okay, how they made him to have to change, you know, he spills the coffee or something, so he has to go and change the shirt. And it was on purpose because he had to miss the bus.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so you never know. That's how the universe works.
And when I have my meditations, excuse me, I have that all the time. It's like, people think that the universe is just so chaotic and so crazy and everything is just random. And I'm like, and when I have my meditations, and even when I'm not in my meditative state, I understand how absolutely precise and how wonderfully woven and orchestrated the entire universe is. And it just fills me with so much joy and happiness when I think that.
Yeah, I think, for example, one of the things that gave me a lot of peace was to know that I was not alone. You know, and I started, like I told you before, I was not a believer. I didn't believe in anything I couldn't see or touch. I was a very intellectual person. But I started practicing I let go and trust. I said, okay, I'm going to let go and trust, you know, especially in scary moments where you don't know where to run. I said, okay, I let go and trust, I let go and trust, I let go and trust. And things start happening that you wouldn't believe.
Right.
And the most important is you manage to be present, you manage not to think or worry, you know, because most of the time we are either push, you know, buttons by, you know, things that remind us of past things that we are not even conscious about, or the worries of always the future, you know, the future that never's here, yeah, because it's always the present. So you're worrying for
something that probably is not going to come.
Yes, exactly. And that you definitely you can change depends on your choices in this moment.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that always helps me out too is understanding that no matter how chaotic things get, no matter how scary things get, I'm like, I brought myself here to this moment to learn something. So
exactly.
I'm like, okay.
Maybe not your intellect, but your soul did.
Oh yeah, my higher self says, yeah, you need to be there. My human self is like, no.
Yeah. Well, you know, with everything that is happening, I said, are you sure I knew what was happening? What was going to happen? Are you sure I signed for this one?
Well, it's so funny because when I even think about that, I mean, thinking about, and you probably would have the same perception, I was born in 1964 and here we are in 2020 and you and I are talking, I'm on my phone, you're on your computer or laptop.
Yes.
And like, I was born at the exact time that I needed to be born to allow this to happen. And it just boggles my mind to think about something that precise, the universe of which I'm a part of had orchestrated without obviously my conscious mind saying, yeah, you're gonna be born then, so you can use that thing, so you can use that phone.
I'm going to tell you something regarding my latest book.
I like that.
I think I was always ahead of my time. And I keep, because I push, you know, well, I like, you know, I'm perfectionist, you know, I like things done right. I'm very creative, so a lot of ideas, but the thing is, you know, technology, I depends on employees and technology and things like that, and sometimes it's frustrating. I told you I've been doing zero frequency trainings for 10 years, yes?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to write this book for 10 years. And I have to tell you that there were some times that I got mad at God because I said, oh, you don't want me to write this book. Okay, I'm not gonna write it. You know, like,
I'll show you.
because I wouldn't find the time because of the traveling. If I was here, then I wouldn't have, you know, the inspiration wouldn't flow just to sit to write a book. I went through so many editors and the things that happened to me that people would say, yeah, even with a contract that said in 2 months I would have the edition, it took a year, things like that. And the manuscript was ready 1 year ago, but I just published it. So now I'm doing the audiobook. So I'm reading it. I'm doing the
neat.
Spanish. I'm doing the Spanish because not everybody likes my accent. So I said, so the English, I'm paying somebody to do it, but the Spanish I'm doing. And as I read it, I cannot believe this book had a date. This book was for the times that we are living right now. It wasn't for a year. It wasn't 10 years ago. This book is for today. Is what is happening today. I couldn't believe that I used the word pandemic in the book. And I talk about a pandemic of love and peace that can heal anything. Okay. And I talk about homeschooling, and I talk about a lot of things that, believe me, this is about changing humanity. I mean, by changing ourselves, yes? Because everything starts with us. I have a world peace campaign that is peace begins with me, peace within is world peace. Yeah, it's all of us, finding that inner peace if we want world peace. But I couldn't believe it myself. So I said, hey, I was getting angry at God. I thought that I had, how you said it, how come I cannot find the time to write the book, and all the stuff. And here is the universe like holding me back. And I felt it. I could tell that the universe was holding me back, but I couldn't understand. Yes. Right. But now I'm telling you, it's not because it's mine. But I'm telling you, as I'm reading it, I said, are you sure I wrote this?
Well, it's so funny because many times when I'm recording meditations for listeners or for Insight Timer, the app, and even when I'm writing my blogs, or even when I'm recording the podcast in Commuter, Commuter, and 5, when I get done, I'm like, I said that, but I don't think I said that.
I know. I even watched myself, in some of the trainings that I did last year, and telling people, something big is coming, something we need to prepare. But I didn't even have any idea what I was talking about. I said, now I'm a prophet. Who knew?
Well, it's funny because I think being an intellectual as you are/were, for me, there are times in my meditation when I have thoughts, when I have insights that I'm like, for right now, let's just keep that to ourselves. I'm like, I don't think it's time to share that one with the world quite yet. We'll wait on that one. So I'm sure, is that similar to you? Do you have epiphanies like that as well?
Yeah, well, I am. First of all, I'm Argentinian. We are very passionate. We are very outspoken. I am Virgo. I was an accountant, a tax accountant and things, and I'm Jewish. So I have it all of a person that knows, that is perfect, or it was perfect before. So the thing is, I am pushy. I feel that I want to tell everything that I. But at the same time, I do know that when I speak, I come from inspiration. I'm not managing, I'm not trying to manipulate or anything. So I think that whatever I say, it's because it's right for the moment. So that's
a good epiphany. That's probably a lesson. Maybe that's why we're talking right now, because that comes in my meditation as well. My thoughts that I have in my meditation is that speak your mind. And if it's coming from heart, the people that are meant to hear it will hear it. The people that say, dude, you are crazy, or, you need a loony bin, then you just say, okay, whatever. Bye.
Yeah. Well, lately, I'm doing lives every week for people, to support them and everything with everything we are going. And I have a lot of people that thank me because I give them so much peace and so much reassurance. And so it's a lot of support for them to go through everything that we are going through. Another says, Mabel, I don't like you anymore. You are talking more about war than peace. And I said, okay. I said, well, we are at war, so we need to bring peace. But we need to know where we are right now.
Yeah, exactly. One teaches the other.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
So here's a
anyway, it's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's a question that's kind of along the lines of what we're talking about. And it says, do you think that group energy creates reality? For instance, is it possible that the need for community that was so widespread around the world, that somehow the energy of people needing to learn that lesson created the situation that we're in right now?
I think that's one of the lessons of what we are going through. I think we were going into the wrong direction. You know, I think we need to change priorities and things, but definitely we do need to unite. That's for sure, and we need to let go of judging. I have to
Right.
tell you, I did a trip to Mount Shasta in Northern California, and all the messages that we got there, it was about uniting, and it was about no judging. Don't judge others. Stop
Those are my two
judging
favorite
others
lessons.
and unite and cooperate. Yeah, I think the universe is teaching us a big lesson right now. And the
Yeah.
world will never be the same. So we need to change.
And it's good that there are people that see it as an opportunity for change. People like you, people like me, and a whole bunch of people, obviously. I mean,
Yeah,
there are some
thank
people that
God.
are still, yeah, yeah, exactly. Because there's obviously a lot of people that are still stuck in that fear, that victim mentality where it's like, why is this happening? This is the worst thing
Yeah,
ever. Like,
or believe in the news.
no, shh, 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 shh.
That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm not gonna say anymore. I didn't even say fake.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. What, huh? What? So with all that has been going on, how have you had to change how you share your message? How are you
Well,
sharing your message now?
I feel that this is my time. That it's just starting.
Right,
um, I think this is the time for us to become ourselves, to trust ourselves, to love ourselves, because that's the only way we are going to love others,
right,
yes, or accept others. This is the time to work, to go inside, and again, put different priorities, work on ourselves to be much more at peace, realizing we can be at peace even in the middle of everything that is going on. I think we are at an amazing time for people that are willing to wake up and to work on themselves. I mean,
right,
the universe is giving us an amazing opportunity. Will be, yeah, but at the same time, we will be witness of things that happen because there are a lot of people that don't want to wake up. So you know what I feel? I always say to people, I don't feel I came to teach Ho'oponopono. I came to share because Ho'oponopono is my way, is what works for me, is the path that I chose. I share it with you. But for me, my mission is to wake up people. And sometimes I only request or ask that I hope I'm doing it right. I hope I'm awakening as many people as I can, that we can bring to the new earth as many people as we can, you know. And when I see people, asleep and waiting for something, a cure, that is very sad. It makes my heart sad because I say, how could they be so asleep? How could they not realize? How could
right.
not being willing to look inside, So it's about trusting ourselves right now.
Well, my smile is because I feel obviously the exact same way when I think about teaching people how to meditate and my meditations. Like that's my absolute goal because when we look inside, when we go inside, when we find an avenue to go inside, the world changes. In some ways, it gets scary. But to our point, that's been over kind of on this whole conversation is it's nothing that you didn't create. It's nothing that's impacting you. That's coming from somewhere else. You're bringing this to bring yourself to growth, to
Yes.
peace, to love,
It,
and so there's no need to be scared. And I have the same feelings
no.
that you do. I'm like, I just want to make sure that
No,
I
I
can
think this
have it.
is this is so exciting. These are very
Oh,
exciting times, or very scary if you are, if you don't know what is really going on. Yes.
but
And
and
you
that,
engage.
but yeah, but from that standpoint, I mean, I think about for me, I impact the people that are either in alignment with our thinking or kind of on the edge, and it's totally judgment free. Obviously, I'm like, if you're not supposed to be where you're supposed to be right now, I'm like, that's cool. you got your own path. Maybe it's going to be in another body. Maybe it's going to be in another time in your life. Right now, you're not there, and that's not good. That's not bad. It's just it's like comparing a baby to somebody who's like 40. It's like, kid, why aren't you running yet?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, so everybody's in the road, and some people are changing their minds. Yes, and I said, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I changed my mind. I want to go home sooner.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fantastic. I think you and I are cut of the same cloth.
Yeah, so, you know, I always say truth is only one. Maybe different ways to get to truth. Yeah, but when you are in one channel, that's the channel. Yes, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
There is no other truth.
I've got the whole dial. Well, how can listeners follow you? Obviously, like I said, things have changed. So are there different avenues that they can follow as you talk about zero frequency?
Well, right now, well, so zero frequency.
I love that.
My book, I have to tell you, I'm very proud, not only because of the content, but it's my first #1 bestseller.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. And I am a self-published author. So double, okay? So to get to #1 bestseller and everything. So I'm grateful because I work very hard, to be honest with you. And I've been planting seeds for many, many years, traveling the world. What people think is is a lot of fun, you know. But, you know, when you are away for 2-3 months from your house, I mean, anyway, I cannot call it work, and I love it and I enjoy it. But I feel that this is kind of the point, yeah, that I've been planting seeds, and now it was for these times. I didn't know, yeah. So anyway, so right now, the Kindle version is at $2.99, and I'm giving $100 in bonuses of 2 trainings, one with Mabel and another teachers that we did the training. And then my very first zero frequency training here in LA, I did it with my teacher, with Dr. Ihaliakala. So, you know, you can get that. It's $100 bonus, you know, with that. And also my book comes with 10 videos that I did to accompany, to be able to support you, you know, through this and give you the support that sometimes we need, or the push that sometimes we need, yes, to take action, to move, to take that first step, different things. Now, I do have zerofrequency.com, actually mabelkatz.com/zero frequency, or zerofrequency.com, and you can go, and there are trainings, and there are, well, many different ways of that you can go back to zero if you choose to. Yeah?
Cool.
And it's that place of allowing the flow of life taking you, yes, accepting more, becoming the observer. And that way you are not, again, your own obstacle, and you can be at the right time with the right people at the right place, yes? And
it's amazing.
Much easier. It's much easier.
Oh, it's so much easier. And it's amazing when we take time out of the equation, because when I was first starting out, was in Commuter and with Commuter 5 and with my writing, I was just like, this has got to happen now. It's got to happen now. That was my head talking. And, you know, as I look back, it's been probably 7 years now, and everything has just brought me to where I'm supposed to be. And it's like that patience, those seeds, those seeds aren't annuals.
That accepting the path, yes. For example, I tell people I discovered Ho'oponopono. My first Ho'oponopono training was 1997. You could have said, oh, you found your purpose. Oh, you find your mission. I didn't let go completely, because I was letting go, but completely of my career till November 2008, when I started traveling nonstop, and I couldn't anymore. But the thing is, I used to do this for free. I used to contribute. I used to take a lot of seminars. I tell people there is also a preparation. That doesn't mean that other people will take that long. What I'm saying is, it's not about finding your passion and now you quit everything, and you allow the universe to take you and prepare you, yes? But once you find the way, once you find that purpose or something, it's unbelievable how the universe takes you. There is no match. Like, for example, the day that I took the decision, hey, Mabel, you're looking for happiness in the wrong places, there were things that used to come to my house that I didn't look. for those kind of seminars, like the anger seminar? And then all these spiritual trainings started showing up in my life. I never knew about this word. But
because
the
they were
universe,
invisible to you.
exactly. So that shows you, whatever you pay attention to, that's what you attract.
Right. Exactly. And it's so funny to think about how like it is such a process, and how I was obviously on your website, and I was kind of getting nostalgic because I saw you. Obviously, you have a picture of you talking in front of a whole audience. I'm like, oh, look at people together sitting next to each other. That's so nice.
I know. Well, I want you to know, I just had a big surprise, but it looks like I will be able to do a training in Mexico next month. So who knows?
Oh,
Maybe
nice.
things are starting to change. I don't know. Till I'm not there, I won't believe it. I got the ticket, yes, but we have
nice.
the hotel reserved, but we don't know. We'll see.
No, that's
so
fantastic.
Anyway, for the bonuses, so we don't forget. So if you go to mabelkatz.com/zero frequency, go to zerofrequency.com book resources, and then you will find out how to get the $100 bonuses. And actually, when you buy the book, it tells you where to go for those 10 videos that they
cool.
come with the book. So I'm sure it is I call it, really humbly, I call it the perfect companion for the times that we are living right now. Very humbly.
Well, I like the fact of where you're coming from too, because I'm the same way. I'm like, my way is not the way. My way works for me. And if I tell you about it and it works for you, cool. Am I going to say, you got to do what I do because this is the way? I'm like, nah, it's all ego. I'm like, when I tell my listeners all the time, I'm like, you know what? I don't have the answers, but I think I have a way of helping you get in touch with the answers that are existing in you. So, and it sounds like obviously you're doing the exact same thing. So
yeah, I always tell people, you take whatever resonates with you, and whatever you let go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you learn one thing, if you heard something that touched you, again, or resonates, or or moved you, great.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be everything, because like I said, there are times I'm sure that some of my listeners, like a lot of things I talk about resonates with them, and then I'll say something about something esoteric from meditation, and they might be like, that's
what is he
different.
talking about?
Exactly. But he was right about that other thing. So okay, you got to weigh it.
Yes, it is like that. Yes,
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank you so much for our time today. What an absolutely wonderful time it's been speaking with you.
Me too. Very beautiful. Not all the interviews flow like this, yes, because it depends on the interviewer. The interviewer is very important.
Absolutely. Well, when two minds come together of a similar nature with a similar purpose in different ways, it's going to flow just the way it's supposed to.
Yes, thank you. And I thank you. Thank you for showing up in my life.
Oh, right back at you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You have a great rest of the day, Mabel.
Yeah, you too. Love, guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.